Okay, it's Tuesday, December 21st, about lunchtime, and I just wanted to follow up on my stock market warning video that I made yesterday. You can see here today, yesterday we had a big gap down to start the day where I made the video, and today we are obviously gapping up and moving higher on the day, and I'll show you what that means context-wise, and just kind of follow up on what I was thinking yesterday, what I'm thinking now, and how it all comes together. So, going back again, this was the monthly chart where I started, and yesterday when we were gapping down, we were making a new monthly low. So the potential was there to come all the way down to this area, and I went over the weekly chart showing you how the next pivot was down here, and I pretty strongly felt we were going to take that out, even though we took out, we took out this first pivot on a new low, we took out this pivot, and then this was the target as we were gapping down. Now, I also discussed how on the daily chart at the time that we're gapping down a little bit, and what I ideally would like to see at this point. The question was, we were going to immediately make this the open of the week, the high, and then head lower all week long, or we were going to rally up to fill this gap a little bit, and the real good signal that we were heading lower would be some kind of a failed rally attempt that curled over back to the downside. That would be the strong indication you are really going to be on the weekly chart, getting ready to just follow through lower and take out the next weekly target down here. But what's happened now on the weekly chart is, you can see this is the second day of the week. We opened up here, we started lower, and then after today's action, we're now heading to the upside. So we have a green bar possibly forming. Now, to me, we're not really heading up to those highs again this week until we take out the midpoint of this prior week. So there's still opportunity for it to just pause out in here and curl over, but it is very strong. So what I'm kind of sensing now, this is the key moment then. Let me move this blue line to the open of this week. If we essentially hold this area, turn green, we have 3 more days to go and head up, then to me, at the moment, I see it more in an overall trading range up here. And since the overall trend's up, the longer that range goes, the more likely we'll break out. So maybe we won't have a terrible ending to the year and start to 2022. Maybe we'll just kind of be, consolidating in this area into next year and then eventually breaking higher, which I still think, is ultimately what's going to happen. It's just a question of how it does it. Again, I'm looking at this open now as kind of the key area. If you look on the daily chart here, this open yesterday came down. And first of all, you could see yesterday that the whole, when I was making the video, we were breaking down on this 15-minute chart. And the question was this going to be the high of the day and the week and head lower, for a few days to that target? And by the end of the day, it kind of curled back up to the open. So you saw kind of a reversal day, on the daily chart. And then you could see overnight we were, after market and overnight we're heading higher. So you knew we were going to get ready to go into this gap. So in terms of, the aggressive move here was to just say this gap down was going to be a gap and go, even though that wasn't really the likelihood, given the way gaps are usually filled. And then by the end of the day, you can kind of see it was kind of a neutral day. It wasn't such a strong down day after all in terms of follow through. So anyway, the main thing I wanted to point out is now with this strong green bar up, it is very possible that we don't take out, that weekly pivot low, which was back here. That I almost thought was going to be a guaranteed take. We came close to it, but we didn't take it out. We then reversed up on the day, so we're heading up higher. I actually made a lot of, even though I have this stock market warning, I made a lot of long trades today in the morning, just given the price action. It's very clear so many stocks, had charts that were heading higher. And anyway, on the weekly chart, I just wanted to point out now, this is kind of the moment of truth this week. What happens here, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday? Do we just hold here and then curl down a little bit, which could be, on the daily chart, we could start below the midpoint. Maybe we fail today by the end of the day, and we start below the midpoint and head lower. And then if we break this today's low, then we're going to break the close, the opening of the week, and at that point, I think we are heading lower. But if this holds up strong, then we can end up with a green bar, and then we'll have to see if we follow through higher next week, type of thing, to the top of the range. So that's what's developing now. A little bit of a change in terms of a dire warning, but it's just all price action dependent at this point. Again, head strong or up here, then we're just in a trading range. If we can't really rally from here in the days ahead and this weekly bar starts to turn down again, then I think we are headed lower in line with the warning video I put out yesterday.